Shareholders Award for betraying your customers. Microsoft. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, and God damn it, Microsoft, we already went over this. You can't just shove mandatory always online DRM on people. See, what truly makes this kind of practice sinister is not the threat itself. It isn't the complete disregard for the customer's wants, but the methodology at play here. Microsoft, like so many other modern game companies, have been getting in the practice of seeing just how much they can fuck over their customers before it threatens profits. They will defend their decisions until the last minute, just as public outrage begins to come to a boil, and then immediately backpedal and begin damage control. Now, I want to believe that this is an isolated incident, but seeing as how this isn't the first time people have fought back against anti-consumer policies, Microsoft's decision might have just been one minor setback in what could very well be a generation-spanning war of attrition against consumers. So Microsoft, let this reward serve as a reminder that you lose, this time. Eye Candy Award for Best Visual Aesthetics. Dragon's Crown. The lovely thing about 2D artwork is that as resolution and screen real estate grows with advancing technology, the flaws don't really stand out any more than the way a 3D model's edges or a texture's blurriness does. George Kamitani's art style hasn't changed much since Odin Sphere and Muramasa, nor has his penchant for drawing sweeping landscapes, lived-in rooms, massive titties, and damn are we glad for that, because those games were awesome and continue to look awesome well beyond their years. And Dragon's Crown is the nicest looking 2D game this generation. I mean, wow, you could take screenshots of this game without the UI, and most people who don't know what the game is would probably think it was a painting. The Eye Candy Award goes to Dragon's Crown for most beautifully rendered tits and asses in a video game. 4chan Pass Award for biggest cash grab. Ouya. It's cheap, it's versatile, it's powerful. Well, that's what we were told anyway. Didn't live up to the hype, but that's the best part about making a Kickstarter for $1 million to develop a plastic cube with the internals of a crippled smartphone. You've already got your money. Whether or not the product fails doesn't really matter. What started as a promise to disrupt the console market with an affordable open-source console ended with nothing but disappointment. The controller felt cheap, the console was weak, and its game library was smaller than even the Wii U's. You could play emulators on it, except you could actually buy most of those consoles and a decent library of games for about the same price on eBay. It'd be more reliable, too. Well, that's probably more talk than the Ouya deserves for one lifetime. Into the trash it goes. SammyClassicSonicFan Award for Coolest Vidya Personality. Hideki Kamiya. There used to be a time when being a game developer was about the closest thing to a shot at stardom as a programmer could get. Unlike a rock star, though, a game developer was more often idealized as being a benevolent and whimsical toy maker, as little was known about them until the social media boom. John Romero was a foul portent of things to come, it seems, and more were finding that game developers are, well, actually human beings with, flaws and emotions. And with so much attention drawn to them, sometimes they get overwhelmed with fans and react in a way that you might expect someone under pressure to act, and then regret it immediately and try to delete it and look even worse. Kudos to Phil Fish for committing to being a complete tool. But I haven't even gotten to our winner, Hideki Kamiya, the man with the plan. This guy is like Phil Fish, only he's actually made a ton of really good games at Platinum, such as Beautiful Joe, Bayonetta, and The Wonderful 101. He's incredibly active on Twitter and responds frequently to his fans. He's never afraid to be unapologetically blunt, even insulting, when he thinks someone is out of line or wrong. But just as often, he's very candid and responds quickly, to the delight of many of his fans. So how can anyone really hate the guy? We think he's pretty chill and doesn't take shit from anyone, and that's why he gets this award. Reading Rainbow Award for Best Writing. Monster Girl Quest, Chapter 3. The conclusion to the sweeping epic that is Monster Girl Quest is nothing short of Totoro's Resistance's magnum opus. The story is told from the perspective of Luca, a young man wise beyond his years who aspires to be a hero of the downtrodden. He ventures forth into a world where humans and monsters are locked in a never-ending struggle. The monsters forever attempting to seduce and corrupt the humans, and the humans who view the monsters with a contempt and aspire to live in a world free of their corrupting influence. It is a masterfully woven tale, thoughtfully touching on such themes as prejudice and ignorance, betrayal and redemption, war and terrorism. It's one of those rare, once-in-a-lifetime works that explores the human condition with such grace, such subtlety and maturity, that it rivals the entire tradition of storytelling without question. History will look back on this year in gaming and remember when the medium as a whole finally reached the climate of maturity in which a game like Monster Girl Quest could finally take home such a coveted and prestigious award. And I am honored to have presented it. Now, I'm going to go and kill myself. Doomguy Award for Best Character. Senator Armstrong. This is one of the closest winners in the show, with Senator Armstrong just edging out on top of Papers, Please's Georgie Costava by 15 votes. For the longest time, it looked like Georgie would win the award, and Lucas Pope agreed to do a skit for us of Georgie actually accepting the award. We had it all set up. Then, at the last minute, Georgie lost by 15 fucking votes. What can you say? He's got nanomachines, son. The winner is Senator Armstrong from Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. I don't know what you were expecting from the final boss of a platinum-made Metal Gear game, but I somehow doubt anyone expected Mitt Romney on steroids. The last boss is a fucking senator of Colorado. Armstrong's insane speech behind his motivations and ideology totally won us over. But then they gave us an incredible boss fight with incredible music on top of it. Press X to win the award for Worst Gameplay. Gone Home. I would like to formally apologize on behalf of the VGA crew for my unprofessional behavior in my previous award for Gone Home. The team has deemed me unfit to handle this award, and in my stead, presenting the award a surprise guest host and foremost video game expert. Take it away. Hyperbole Award for Best Trailer. Blunder of the Year for setting a new standard of failure. Fan Fiction Award for Most Atrocious Writing. Actually Kind of Fun Award for Best Gameplay. Your Waifu for Worst Character. Golden Voice Award for Best Voice Acting Performance. Not in Another Castle Award for Greatest Sequel. Virgin Award for Best New IP. Cranky Kong Award for Best Soundtrack. IP Twist Award for Best New Implementation of an Old Franchise. Plot and Backstory Award for the Best Representation of Women. Precipitation Award for Biggest Emotional Impact. Most Hated Award for Most Hated Game of the Year. Least Worst Award for Least Worst Game of the Year.